Welcome to Beach Haven, a slice of heaven on the New Jersey shore.
It's just wonderful, and we can't wait for another great summer here.
I've been coming here since I was 18 months old. Love this place, love the beach.
It's relaxing. It's just a beautiful beach.
The perfect place to take a dip and put your mind at ease. Unless, of course, you have a certain movie theme playing in your head. It was 41 years ago that Jaws left America trembling in fear. You know the story.
Shark! The shark!
A rogue shark terrorizing a tourist town.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
While the book and blockbuster film are fiction, 100 years ago in New Jersey, there was the real thing, with eerie similarities to Jaws.
It happened before. The Jersey Beach.
1916,
there were five people chewed up in the surf.
In 1 week.
Tell them about the swimmers.
A series of deadly shark attacks, and it began right here in Beach Haven.
America thought they were having one last golden, gentle, innocent summer, but that wasn't to be.
Author and physician Richard Fernicola has written about the 1916 events.
The extraordinary nature of the attacks, the viciousness in that period, it still stands out. It stood out then, and it stands out even more, perhaps, in retrospect.
Back then, sharks were a distant offshore curiosity. It was widely assumed they would never pose a threat to man. That all changed July 1st, 1916, when a 25-year-old accountant from Philadelphia, Charles Van Sant, went for a swim and was viciously attacked. Doctors said there was no doubt he'd been killed by a shark. 5 days later, some 45 miles north in Spring Lake, a bellhop swam out beyond the breakers. He, too, was killed.
Here you had a case where there were no attacks for 50 or 100 years, and here you had two men in their 20s who were viciously mauled by a shark right in the beach zone.
What happened next would turn fear to panic. 25 miles north, where the ocean waters meet Matawan Creek, a sea captain walking near a drawbridge saw a large shark heading upstream.
This is where he saw the shark at an...
We went with Dr. Fernicola to look at the scene.
The important distance is how far from this mouth, how far from the bay are the attack sites.
Yeah. So
They're about 1 mile.
In the next 45 minutes, the shark swam that mile, up to a swimming hole popular with boys from the town of Matawan, like 11-year-old Lester Stillwell.
So right where we're going over right now?
Right where we're going over right now, exactly.
It was here where the shark found Stillwell in the deepest part of that swimming hole and took him under.
It's such a serene spot.
Serene, tranquil, yes, it does
I mean, you
seem.
just would not expect
No.
that
No.
right here.
You wouldn't.
The other boys ran into town for help. 24-year-old Stanley Fischer was one of those who answered the call. He and others dove in to attempt a rescue, and it was Fischer who finally emerged with the boy's body. But the shark wasn't done.
He had come up to a little bit of a shallow on the bank and was viciously struck on the right thigh by this marauding shark. It spun him around twice, took him under twice.
The boy was dead. Fischer died a few hours later.
They dammed up the creek, and so the creek is more narrow and more shallow than it would have been at that time. So
For John Nichols, Fischer's death isn't just fact, it's family. Stanley was Nichols' great uncle, and something more.
He's a man in your family who died a hero.
he probably was a hero, but I think he also was a man of his times, and he knew the boys well, and he was a member of the community.
And the community, and all of America, it seemed, wanted revenge. Crowds descended on New Jersey to hunt the shark.
They set up bounty rewards for sharks. They used dynamite and took old spears and pitchforks and rifles and other weapons to try to hunt the shark.
The way you describe it, it sounds almost like a frenzy.
It was absolutely a frenzy. Sharks became public enemy number one.
And to this day, random shark attacks are always front page news. Although they're extremely rare, there were a record 98 attacks worldwide in 2015, including 6 fatalities. Last month, sharks bit swimmers off the coasts of Florida and California. But the experts say the fact of the matter is that humans are the real threat to sharks, with some 100 million killed every year, primarily for shark fin soup.
So we have 26 sharks in this exhibit. We have sand tiger sharks, which you can see above you right now, the ones that teeth hang out.
Like this one here,
Yeah, right? That one.
Shark educators like Nikki Grandinetti at the Adventure Aquarium outside Philadelphia work to convince people that sharks, if not exactly our friends, are a vital part of the ecosystem.
What I really want people to understand is to learn to love the underwater world and the oceans, to understand that sharks are out there to be revered and not feared, to understand how wonderful they are, that they make up, an important part of the food chain, and they're not these killing machines that are out there to eat humans or interact with humans. We are not on their menu. Sharks,
Literally.
We are literally not on their menu. No.
And there's no better way to convince us of that than to take us into the shark tank.
You're my protector.
Okay,
You're my guide.
I got you, don't worry.
Heading into the tank can make you nervous, while these sand tiger and sandbar sharks were curious and came a little too close for comfort. The truth is, these are not known for attacking humans. A far cry from the killer or killers a century ago. The 1916 Jersey Shore shark attacks ended soon after they began. While a great white shark was captured near Matawan Creek, the debate continues as to the culprit. Was it that great white? Was it a bull shark, which can swim in fresh water? Or was it several sharks?
I still believe they stand out among shark attacks, perhaps even worldwide, as the Titanic of shark attacks because of their frequency, their ferocity, the scientific context.
At Stanley Fischer's gravesite, John Nichols pays his respects to the relative he never met but grew to know and admire.
He just was in the wrong place at the wrong time in a bizarre set of circumstances that will never be repeated again.
So you don't blame the shark, it sounds like.
I don't blame the shark. I mean, it was a collision course, and I don't hold any animosity toward that shark or sharks in general.
And if he doesn't, maybe we shouldn't either.